For those that may not be aware, Winning Time: The Rise of the LA Lakers Dynasty is actually based on a book that was written. I know I've got the author's name, so I'm sorry for the timing of not fully knowing the information. But it is actually based on a book, and it is produced by Adam McKay, the same Adam McKay from Netflix's Don't Look Up. So when it's aired, I would say like there have been some question portrayals of some of the more iconic figure in LA Lakers lore, especially Jerry West. Now, when I was watching Jason Clark, he does play Jerry West. So watching the series already in 2 episodes, I I didn't like what I saw. To be honest, I thought like it was so out of character. Like it's completely like what Jerry West is not. You know, whether it's out of control, intoxicated, rageaholic, and all that. So, and I really do agree with those that are disputing against HBO and everyone involved. Oh yeah, I got the name. Jeff Pearlman's book Showtime, Magic, Kareem, Riley, and the Los Angeles Lakers Dynasty of the 1980s. So that's what the whole series is based on. The book written by Jeff Pearlman. So after some time, the lawyers that represent Jerry West, they had this to say. They wrote and sent a letter to HBO demanding reparation and an apology for how he was being portrayed. In fact, a lot of what's being said is kind of saying like how there was no personal animus on drafting Magic Johnson at the time and trying to sabotage his selection and any sort of personal issues against Magic in the time. I won't read too much of the letter because it is a long paragraph, but I'll just kind of paraphrase it, just saying like how the portrayal of Jerry West in Winning Time is fiction and pretending to be fact. It's deliberately false characterization of that's causing great distress to Jerry and his family, which is actually no shock. It's completely contrary to the basis portrayal on the HBO show. Yeah. Also, Jerry had nothing but love for and harmony with the Lakers organization, in particular, owner Dr. Jerry Buss at that time. Now, for those that may not be aware, Dr. Jerry Buss, February 2013, he did pass away. So his children, the Buss family, Jeannie, Jim, and I think other people involved, still in charge of running the Lakers organization, despite kind of not exactly being in a great spot on the court, even though they won the 2020 title in the Orlando bubble. But also, like, the letter also said that, like, HBO's characterization of Jerry is so egregious and cruel that a number of former Laker players, executives, and associates, some who are also portrayed in this series and worked directly with him for many years, have weighed in. So there are many well-known Los Angeles Lakers figures in the organization during that time who knew Jerry West very well that can say otherwise, contrary to how he's been portrayed in the HBO show, such as Michael Cooper, Jamal Wilkes, Mitch Kupchak, who is currently GM right now for the Charlotte Hornets, also working for Michael Jordan, owning that team. Frank Mariani, Claire L. Rothman, Bob Steiner, Charlene Kenny, and also Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar also happens to be portrayed in the whole series by Solomon Hughes. For Solomon Hughes, I just saw the other day Solomon as a guest for the Rich Eisen show, which is fantastic to watch from time to time. Solomon Hughes in the show portrays Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem also weighs in on the HBO show. I'll get into a moment. Also, like other actors involved. Quincy Isaiah also portrays Magic Johnson. This is an interesting one. Devon Nixon. Yeah, Devon Nixon. He's the son of Norm Nixon. Devon portrays his dad, Norman Nixon. So that was actually pretty cool. But like even though the first episode, like Again, I haven't read the book. I haven't even seen the book on sale at different bookstores, but to me, it just like it doesn't sound or look even accurate, like, especially Jerry West in the show. And also, one of the lawyers was saying, like, instead of exploring his issues with compassion as a better way to understand the man, they turned him into a wily coyote cartoon to be laughed at. Oh wait, hold on. Wait, what I just said, that was actually from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but yeah, one of his lawyers was saying like how Jerry West was an integral part of the Lakers and NBA success, and that is true. Even though West played in 9 NBA finals, winning once and losing 8 times, he is still the official NBA logo to this day, so that he still has a place in today's NBA lore, especially since post-retirement, being a well-regarded executive, having an input and helping build playoff championship teams, whether it's for Lakers, Grizzlies, consultant for Warriors and Clippers and so forth. So I do think like the way he's being portrayed is an insult, and I do agree. Okay, also, yeah, like seeing instead of seeing the true brilliant GM he was at the time and building one of the great dynasties, the contrary to the show, the book leaves readers with a true impression of Jerry as a brilliant and thoughtful GM. He's actually soft spoken, and he never broke golf clubs, didn't throw his trophy, didn't make dramatic actions and moments and all that sort of stuff. Hold on, sorry for one moment. Yeah, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was saying how he's being portrayed like a cartoon character, didn't break stuff. Now, as for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, what he thought of his portrayal on the show in particular, he had a lot to say actually regarding with the show and how Adam McKay, sorry, did the work on the whole thing. So yeah, sorry, I know it's just bad time, but just give me a moment because I just want to pull up some of Adam McKay's credit work. Yeah. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was saying, how did so many talented people go so terribly wrong? He writes in a new blog post criticizing HBO drama show Winning Time, Rise of the Lakers Dynasty. He even said that the show is deliberately dishonest and really dull, which I can honestly agree. He wanted to clarify in his blog post, this has nothing to do with Solomon Hughes, which I'm glad, like, because when Solomon Hughes was talking to Rich Eisen, he was saying how he grew up really admiring Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, knowing his stories, his books, watching him play, video clips of him playing, and so forth. And even Kareem said on his blog post that the show commits the sin of being boring over and over. He thought that Don't Look Up would be just an anomaly, but then was shocked at the poor quality of the show. And perhaps because he was overwhelmed by his passion about global warming, he let his commitment overshadow his critical eye. But now that Winning Time suffers the same shallowness and lazy writing, I'm not so sure, said Kareem. He even criticized Winning Time for bland characterization. Even added that the characters are crude stick figure representation that resemble real people, the way Lego Han Solo resembles Harrison Ford. Each character is reduced to a single bold trait, as if the writers were afraid anything more than complex would tax the viewer's comprehension. Jerry has openly discussed his struggle with mental health, especially depression. Instead of exploring his issues with compassion as a way to better understand the man, they turned to wily cartoon character, like I said before. Didn't break golf clubs, didn't throw his trophies, and all that stuff. I know I'm repeating this quote again, but I just wanted to point that out once more. And I do agree with the criticisms of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and really everyone, especially Jerry West. I mean, he's like an old man. The guy's like, what, late 70s, early 80s? So it's not really good for him to be looked at this way. Like, I've only seen 2 episodes. I think maybe 5 or 6 episodes are there. It's an HBO show. It's also available for streaming on the OSN Plus platform as well. So there might be like 5 or 6 episodes already. But it's I still think about like episode 2. He looked like he was like depressed, drunk, and like laying on the floor in his underwear, and I'm just like, okay, there's no way he never did that. It's hard to believe he did that. I don't know the man personally, but it's hard to believe like this was how Jerry West was. It's not. I don't want to sound like I'm attacking Jason Clarke as an actor, but it's just not the right way to portray the characters. If there was one positive I can say early on, I kind of do like the portrayal of John C. Reilly as Dr. Jerry Buss. Although how it all came to be was kind of dramatic behind the scenes issue. The story was that McKay and Will Ferrell have collaborated together for many years. They were close friends, but HBO executives did not see or believe that Will Ferrell had a close resemblance to Dr. Jerry Buss. So after a conversation between Will Ferrell and Adam McKay, they split up. Their friendship got affected, supposedly. So that's really too bad. Creative differences behind the scenes kind of contributed to how the show is. But I mean, I thought John C. Reilly did a pretty good job. If there's one thing early on impression I'm not liking, it's the whole fourth wall breaking. I don't think that's necessary. I don't know why there needed to be fourth wall breaking for a show like this. I know that it's not a docu-series, so it's like meant to show dramatization, different ways of having like a different plot device, making the characters, dramatizing it more, I guess, and like trying to add more layers as if like the writers thought that they need to be more expressive, whereas these people that are part of the Lakers championship dynasty are so iconic, really like well-known figures, like players that have come after them, like have established relationships with them, have gotten to know them, have liked them, admired them. So it's just weird how it is. Adam McKay's like filmography credit. I mean, some of the movies that he's directed and written might be familiar with, like Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy, Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby, Step Brothers, The Other Guys, The Campaign, also Anchorman 2. Get Hard. He even was one of the writers for Ant-Man. Directed and wrote The Big Short. He did great work on Vice. I thought Vice was a great film. So some movies that he did collaborating with Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly, some pretty good films. Vice, he did working with Christian Bale. Vice is an excellent film as well. So I think just based on my impressions, like seeing the first 2 episodes, yeah, it feels bland, boring. It kind of goes a little bit over the top with how people kind of look at these iconic NBA figures, especially those part of the LA Lakers lore. I know it's not a docuseries. If it was a docuseries, kind of like The Last Dance, with archive footage from Michael Jordan in the, I think it was 1997-98 season, never seen before until now, being done, released. So, although I should mention, coming soon on Apple TV Plus, there is Magic Johnson's They Call Me Magic. I think it's a docuseries as well, so that might have more of a proper way of telling the story of the Lakers dynasty, maybe some things that were never said before. But and I don't know if it's true, like just also watching Rich Eisen, he said that got picked up for a second season. I just hope the writing is better for a second season, but I mean, like, if no one's happy in the first season, I doubt that the second season may be even better.